Hello and welcome to this video. Surprisingly, we get a new patch, or at least it is in the works from ESL and the pros that are working on it. I'm personally not taking part of it myself because I don't really think pros should balance the game. I feel like that's always a little bit weird. So this is my first look at it, and let's just go into it together. So first up is the patch goals. Make Protoss more stable on a professional level in the early game versus Terran and more competitive against late game Terran armies with Ghosts. I mean, that's already the case, I don't know about that. Increase the variety in the mid game and late game army reducing the strength of Baneling, Ghosts and Disruptors. Yeah, I mean, Banelings are pretty strong, and I would like to see more, not just pure Disruptors, because at the moment, TVP late game, you as a Terran, you want to keep the Protoss small. You don't want to, as soon as they have, let's say 10 Disruptors, it's kind of over. Make more special units viable throughout more stages of the game. This is something I like. That sounds good. Like the Cyclone, for example, before I go in any of the changes, the Cyclone, for instance, I don't really talk about Infestor Mothership so much because I'm a Terran. The Cyclone right now is a unit that is just good against Protoss, for example. You use it against Stargate to zone Phoenix or Oracle in the early game, and that's it. It has no other use because it just sucks. It's kind of good against everything in the early game, like a Mothership core, but then later on it just doesn't deal any damage. It's too hard to micro. As soon as there's certain units out, it just gets countered. So that sounds nice. Bring more visual clarity to important units on the minimap, as well as relevant abilities like Woodermine targeting and disruptor cooldown. Okay, let's see. Promote more interaction in late game scenarios by making such units as Tempest, Mothership, and Brute more maneuverable. Okay, I mean, let's see. So first up is Terran Cyclone change. And what we see here is a cost reduction by quite a lot. We first have to read everything and then I can tell you. So that seems like it's a smaller unit then. Tech lab requirement removed. That always sounds pretty nice because one of the issues with Terran units is sometimes if you want to, let's say, go mass Banshees, you can't go mass Banshees because it requires a tech lab. So the amount of production you would need in order to build it is insane. And that is the same with a Cyclone. A Cyclone is essentially a siege tank, and I would always get a tank instead of a Cyclone for 25 gas that it costs more. Health reduce, of course. If you reduce the cost, it's going to be health. Armor reduction, supply reduction, okay. Attack range is increased to 6, so the auto attack. Auto attack damage, attack speed now 11 plus 2. I don't know about that. Is that a nerf or what? Auto attack speed now 11. I guess it's the same as before. Because it doesn't say from 5 to 6, so I guess it's the same as before, I don't know. Lock on now uses Cyclone's auto attack. Okay. No longer has a delay. Okay, so the delay before the first shot is gone. That sounds nice. Cooldown removed. Okay, so it's only lock on. Reduced from 7 to 6. And the max range reduced. So it's not so now they want to make it a smaller unit, you can use a Hellion and a squad, but at the same time it doesn't shoot from that big of a distance, and it does significant less damage because multiple Cyclones can now on the same target. Okay. And yeah, the upgrade is removed, so it doesn't do extra damage anymore like before. Movement speed reduced, so it's not as quick anymore. Reduced, yeah. And new upgrade to increase the move. That sounds nice. Okay, there's a new upgrade. I was about to say this sounds a little bit ridiculous. So the Cyclone should become a more unit that you can add. That sounds like a nice little change. Now it isn't. Oh wait, there's something here. Redesign to make it more earned in all matchups. Aims to increase the viability of mech-based gameplay against Protoss. Yeah, there needs to be some testing then, but I like the idea. I can't really say too much about that, but I like the idea of giving it the role of because for example here it says against Protoss. The issue against Protoss is that you don't have like a unit where you can dump your minerals in early on. You can't make Hellions against Protoss because they open up Mass Stalker every game. So taking a third base is impossible because you don't really have, like against Zerg, you have Hellion Banshee or Hellion Battlecruiser control in the early game, so they can't like send Zerglings or Roaches across the map. You don't have that against Protoss, so that sounds like a good idea. Interesting. Snap range reduced, okay. Damage, sorry, not range. I was about to say damage reduced. Okay, yeah, makes sense. And EMP radius reduced. Yeah, okay, I mean, doesn't feel like there's too much problem with that, depending on what they changed else. Woodermine now also makes the Woodermine Amvero twice as fast, the drilling claws. Targeting line is now more visible. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't disagree. Sounds like okay. After this, we're gonna have to see like. Well, I guess I just react to the sentence they wrote below that, like ESA returns some of the strength to active with my micro. Yeah, I mean, making it more microable. Yeah, not much to say. Speed upgrade replaced with KDS reactor increases energy regen rate by 100%. Regenerates twice as fast, and minimap radius, so like you can see it easy on the minimap. Okay, a medevac upgrade that might do something. It also sounds good, positive. Interference matrix now requires an upgrade. But where? In, I guess, the tech lab? Yeah. Nerfing the matrix, the mechanic was kind of stupid in some way, so... also in TVT. That sounds like a decent change, yeah, making the Raven... Because like before, like they made the Raven like the Cyclone like a cheaper unit, but they didn't really nerf the matrix, so yeah, sounds good. Lurkers. Now, adaptive talents, movement speed, speed bonus, move speed bonus. Did they get like faster movement? And the cost reduce. Some of the main counters are getting nerf reduced. Okay, so like it also, I didn't know that it had like a charge, you know, if you get charged for Zealot, the Zealot also moves faster, I guess. So Lurker slower, good. Makes sense. Pathogen Glance upgrade removed. It now starts with the full energy, cast range reduce, and damage reduce. Also, like, I like that change as well. Like, I mean, it starts with the full energy, but it's like the Raven. The abilities are like nerfed a little bit, so you can like add some more infestors without like any barrier, you know. Usually it costs a lot of time to get the upgrade and make the infestor useful. This is like you can make some random infestors like whenever you want to. Sounds like an okay idea as well, I like it. Air armor upgrade reduced from 150 to okay, yeah. Just the air armor is too expensive. Yeah, I mean, another thing where I wouldn't disagree. They're not gonna make the major difference, but I guess it's kind of weird that like the armor upgrade of air units costs 300 here for the Spire maybe. And the air weapons is definitely more important. Yeah, why not? Doesn't seem like a big deal. Consume damage reduced from 200 to 100. Reduced from? Reduces the attention required for gathering Viper energy. What? Consume damage reduced. The attention required for gathering Viper. So they essentially buffed the Viper, one of the best units in the game, like in some way, by like making it so it doesn't kill the hatchery. Like if they like have like a couple Vipers sucking up energy, like sometimes they kill their own hatchery or what? That sounds like a dumb change. Like, if anything, they should increase that. Or, I mean, it's not going to make a major difference, is it? So it's like, whatever. But, like, it's essentially a little bit of a buff, isn't it? If I'm not misunderstanding it, so that's sort of weird. Because the Viper is really good. Broodlord, movement speed increase again. Broodling, movement speed reduce and health reduce. And attack speed, okay. Making the Broodlord faster, why not? Making a more mobile army but weaker in its damage with the Broodlings doesn't sound like a bad idea either. It's just like another, like they did this already before they wanted to make it more mobile, so yeah. Overlord, declaration speed increase from declaration speed to stop and begin. Ah, okay, for the creep strat, okay, it doesn't sound like a big deal. Movement speed increase, what? Ah, transport upgrade after they get the upgrade. After they upgrade into the drop a lot, I guess. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a big deal. Yeah. Ultralisk cost reduced, not by much though. And burrow time reduced. Okay, I mean another, like there's always the thing, it's like small changes, which is actually a good thing because I feel like you can make small changes and test some stuff out. Like, for example, the cyclone change seems like the biggest one, obviously. But like, for example, like these kind of changes like here that they unburrow twice as fast as, or the medevac gets like a more useful upgrade. I like these testing. Testings. Let's see, hydraulic speed and range upgrade combined. I think that actually makes somewhat sense because like both upgrades kind of take a long time to build. I think that's more like a ZVP problem. So getting both in one upgrade, I think makes sense probably. Yeah, this is more like a ZVP change. We don't really care so much about that. Bonus damage. Oh, this is interesting. Baneling changes. Bonus damage per upgrade reduced from 2 plus 2 versus light, so to 2. So per upgrade it doesn't get bonus damage against light. Let me see this again. From 2 plus 2 versus light to 2 versus all. Yeah. So that means it does less damage against light. What I always think was like, yeah, here, well, no longer one-shot probes. What I always think is weird is that like one baneling on +2 upgrades can one-shot probes. Whenever I watch ZVP, that's rare, but whenever I do, it's kind of fascinating for me to see that, because one-shotting workers with like a single baneling does sound a little bit ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Cost reduced from the upgrade, and time reduced here, and no more health bonus. That could be a big one. This could be a big one with like mass banelings. Like Protoss can use Storm better now against it. That could be a big change. Not like entirely imbalanced change, like oh Zerg sucks now, but like this could be a very, very good one to like make the general gameplay not just rely on mass banelings, which I agree with. To main a balance for 2 base HeroMarine all-ins, okay, yeah. I mean, at the same time, you want to make the upgrades cheaper, so 2 base all-in for Terran are not too strong. Shield upgrades reduced for Protoss. Okay, why not? Air armor upgrade reduced. Okay, why not? Minimap radius increase, same as the medevac. Okay, why not? Supply cost increase, that sounds good. Model scale increase, and radius increase again. So like it's a, yeah, I like that. Because like having the disruptor as a small unit, like making it like bigger, you know, like costing more supply, I think makes more sense, because before it like kind of just one-shot everything for Terran, like Ghost, Marauder, and Marines and whatever. And I think that didn't make a lot of sense because you could like mass disruptor. So making it one more supply does seem like something that could change that for sure. So that they can't like, as they say here, they want to reduce like mass disruptors. Like at some Protosses go up to like 10 disruptors and then you just can't hit them anymore. It's kind of insane. Protoss movement speed reflects increase. So after the Void Ray upgrade, it is even faster. I don't know. I don't care about the Void Ray. Let's skip this one. Acceleration, declaration increase. Okay, so it like moves faster and it is a smaller unit model. Yeah, you can micro it better that way. Does sound like a good idea. I don't mind that either. Mothership, cost reduced. So also there you want to downscale the mothership. So the cost and building time and speed increase. So it's like smaller and more mobile, radius, model, has no energy. So it essentially does the same thing, just weaker and no energy. And the cloak field is like not a passive ability, because that would be kind of strong if you have a cheap mothership that can just cloak all your units. Yeah. Doesn't get hard countered by EMP. I mean, the reason why you don't build a mothership is not because it gets hard countered by EMP, so let's see to read this correctly. Reduce the investment and increase the maneuverability of the mothership. Yes, and prevent it from being hard countered by EMP. Like, what? Should allow for early mothership builds in all matchup as well as more active usage of the mothership. Wait, does it also say you don't need like the fleet beacon? No, it doesn't say that. So I don't think it's like necessarily going to be viable in matchups, because the fleet beacon is very expensive. So I'm not sure if you would want to build it like as an opening against Terran. Sentry, guardian shield duration increase. Why not? Whatever. Stasis ward side range increase. Yeah, I mean, these are also small changes. Like, yeah, okay. They should do these more often. It kind of makes sense. Yeah, why not? Barrier will now also block the first instance of damage, which triggers the barrier. Wait, barrier will now also block the first instance of damage, which triggers... before that, like if I, like for example, if a Marine hits an Immortal, it does 6 damage to the Immortal, and then it triggers the barrier, what is it? I know, hitting EMPs. EMP, yeah. Okay. Currently, EMP hitting an Immortal will drain all of the Immortal shield as well as activating the barrier. Yeah. Which will generally expire before the Immortal ends up receiving other damage, making the unit... Yeah, okay. Honestly, Immortals aren't even that bad against Terran, so I'm not sure if that's... I mean, you can even sprinkle in Immortals now. Though I'm not sure, like, it always like is the question, does it go too far? But at the same time, we're talking about the Immortal. I don't think I can complain about the Immortal. So all in all, if we go back to the front page, all in all, I would say the changes are not too bad, yeah? Not too bad all in all, if they want to go with that. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Cyclone performs. That's definitely... exciting, basically. There isn't really much more to say. All in all, very small changes. I guess the only thing like we kind of disagree with is like, I mean, honestly, like if we look back, Cyclone, I don't disagree. No. I mean, Viper is like, why? Like Viper is so good. Why do you make it like not better necessarily, but like more convenient? No. Like, no disagree. Baneling is like, that's a big one. That sounds like a change that makes a lot of sense, actually, but it could be too big of a change, so this is a nice change for sure. It could be like a very nice change for the game itself. Forge, no. Cybercore, no. Warp Prism, no. Disruptor, no. Void Ray, no. Tempest, no. I mean, everything just does seem to make sense. The Mothership, I don't know. These are all the things that we're going to figure out, I guess. Like, in particular, these 3 things, that's what we're going to pay attention to. We're going to pay attention to the Cyclone, the Ultralisk, no, the Baneling, and the Mothership. And that is what I will do in some other video when we get to play the test mode or whatever. I'll make a new video on that. And then, yeah, for now, all in all, I think the changes you can't really disagree with because of how small they are as well. But I feel like that's how you want to go. The only thing I would disagree is like how often we get a patch. I feel like you can make these patches like every half a year or even less. But anyways, let's wait until we get to try it, and see you guys for the next video.